So how is this possible? How are people gaining muscle while losing fat? How are they gaining muscle in a calorie deficit? This is not supposed to be possible. What's up, guys? I'm Dennis Cook, personal trainer, health coach, performance coach. Call me what you will. I help people transform and achieve an athletic body, even if they don't consider themselves athletes. So earlier this summer, I started launching these 6-week transformation challenges. And the goal of the challenge was to set folks up to lose some weight and learn sustainable habits for health, performance, and really just learning how to enjoy the process of getting fit. And what I want to talk about with these 6-week challenges is the results that people are consistently getting. Now, if you're a skinny teenager or an advanced lifter, you could probably just move on. But if you are overweight, out of shape, if you're a beginner lifter or even intermediate who hasn't achieved the body they want yet, then listen up. So now that I've run a couple of these 6-week challenges, I feel confident in saying that the results that are being achieved reliably. I can deliver these results reliably. And what are those results? So the most important thing is that people are losing body fat and gaining muscle at the same time. Why is this important? Because 80% of diets fail. Why? When you hear that 80% of diets fail, it doesn't mean that people are not able to lose weight. It means that people are not able to keep the weight off. What happens is people go on a very low calorie diet and weight comes off of their body. And then as soon as they go back to normal calories, their body rebounds back to the original weight. And what's worse is that during the calorie deficit, during the weight loss process, these folks tend to lose muscle and lose lean tissue off of their body. So when they do regain the weight, they regain it almost entirely in fat, and they're in a worse position than when they started. They're actually more fat in terms of ratios of body composition. So if you can actually gain muscle while losing weight, then you're able to keep the weight off because muscle is a driver of metabolism. So you finish the end of the 6 weeks and your metabolism has effectively improved. Your ratio of muscle to fat has gone up, which means you're in a better position to just sort of burn calories throughout the day. But this is not supposed to be possible. They say you have to be in a calorie surplus to gain muscle. You can't gain muscle while in a calorie deficit. That might be true for advanced lifters, advanced athletes, but most people are nowhere near their muscular potential. So adding the right stimulus, the right formula, it is entirely possible. Like I said, it is reliably produced at this point that individuals can gain muscle while losing fat. So here's why. Most people, especially when they're overweight, typically are in a situation where their previous dietary pattern that got them to that point meant eating too many calories in the form of high carbohydrate and or high fat, and almost always low protein, not enough protein. So the thing that triggers muscle growth, muscle protein synthesis, kind of twofold, is stimulating the muscles through exercise, resistance training specifically, and protein intake. So what does my 6-week challenge look like? Well, it looks like anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week of moderate resistance training and eating higher protein. You can eat higher protein and still be in a calorie deficit. And this is exactly what I ask folks to do. And to no surprise, they are losing weight on the scale and gaining muscle. So let's talk about the results. So in 6 weeks, on average, folks are losing about 1 pound of body fat per week and gaining about 1 pound of muscle. Top performers are losing about 2 pounds of body fat per week and gaining anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds of muscle. Now, why aren't they gaining as much muscle as they're losing fat in comparison to fat loss? Because muscle gain is rate limited. The longer you're training, the slower that process will go. On average, women can gain about 1 pound of muscle per month, and men maybe up to 3. So essentially, the program that I'm running them through is yielding the top end potential of their muscle growth. Folks are getting about 1 to 3 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks, so a little over a month. Okay. But they're doing this in a calorie deficit. So it's about as good as you can ask. And hey, maybe I'll find a way to do a little bit better. But it's a great trajectory, and a trajectory that if you were to keep that up and repeat that 6-week cycle 8 times, so 1 year, guess what? You will have lost, 20% body fat and gained 8 to 16 pounds of muscle. You will look like a totally different person. It would be an insane transformation. So what are the people saying? So the good news is that most people are saying, wow, this feels pretty easy. I feel like I can repeat this. This feels sustainable. Why? Because eating high protein is very satiating. Also, the exercise program I'm putting them through it's moderate. It's reasonable. On the downside, which is not actually a downside, they don't feel like a lot is happening, especially because we're measuring these results on an in-body scanner, but they don't have one of those at their home. So at home, they're just kind of stepping on the scale every day, and it seems like nothing's happening. But that's because they're gaining muscle, they're retaining water more so than normally in a weight loss program while losing fat. So even though they lost 8 to 11 pounds of body fat, they only lost on the scale, say 6 or 7 pounds. The other side of it is that we just simply don't see the changes in ourselves. But when people stop to think about it, they think about the way their clothes are fitting. When they finally see their progress photos, it becomes readily apparent. So we're always the last ones to see it in ourselves. So we get through it, they get through it. At the end of the 6 weeks, my dream, my hope, and I think what's been delivered effectively is essentially a preview to how to make an absolute, total, insane transformation. You see, I say, here's what just happened in 6 weeks. 6 weeks is hardly nothing, but you just told me it didn't feel that difficult. You see the transformation. You see that you went down in body fat. You see that you increased muscle. You're saying you feel stronger. You're saying you feel more energy. So what's stopping you from continuing this process? And the answer is nothing. And so they continue. But this is my invitation to you. You can do the same thing. You don't even need me to get started. Up your protein. If you've never tracked protein before, if you've never even tried to eat high protein, download the app called Cronometer, Crono meter, Cronometer. Try and get 100 grams per day. I prefer animal protein, chicken, fish, beef, pork, eggs, whey protein. These are the best sources. If you're vegan or vegetarian, seek out a source, an expert in that field who can help you eat high protein. Once you're feeling good with that amount of protein, calculate how many calories that is, and what's allowed beyond that is some combination of carbohydrates and fats, where the total of protein, carbohydrates, and fats would equal about 10 times your body weight. That's simple. Focus on real foods. That's going to really give you an edge. And at this point, the results are essentially guaranteed. If you try this, if you have questions, reach out to me directly. I offer free strategy calls. I can help you brainstorm, or we can discuss working together. All right, y'all. I hope you found this helpful, and we'll talk again soon. Peace.